Good Super Bowl Sunday afternoon, my fellow nursing students. Hello, it's Paige again. I know you haven't heard from me in a little bit. Have gone through 3 or 4 weeks of school. I think we're starting on week 4. Is that right? Anyway, it's been rather overwhelming for me. I think most of you know if you've been watching my videos that along with my nursing classes, I'm taking microbiology this semester. And so far it has been pretty stressful because I am so involved and concentrating on my nursing classes that the microbiology is kind of going to the wayside. I have a quiz tomorrow in lab in microbiology that I really haven't studied for because I have my first exam in med-surg. Yes, I do. And it is over the respiratory system, cardiac, and hematology, mostly focusing on like anemias. I kind of was going to show real quick, this isn't going to be a long video, I don't think, I say that, but I'm going to show real quick how I have been studying and how I find that this helps me to study. I do not like note cards, I guess. I've just realized that. I kind of did it last semester and really didn't use them much. I would make them and then I wouldn't use them. What's working for me is what I do, which they give out like a outline kind of what the test is going to kind of be like, which last semester didn't really help much, but I mean, I always look at it and kind of try to base what I study off of that. Anyway, I take each section, I go through my book, and I will write down everything that I feel like is important for each topic. Pneumonia, heart failure, oh yeah, we have to know about drugs, like the action and side effects and patient teaching and stuff. Which this one? Oh, congestive heart failure. Anyway, so this just gives you an idea. And how I do it is as you see, I use my highlighters. I like things colorful, and when I look at what's happening when I'm supposed to be focusing on, like epistaxis, which is nosebleed. I will put that down. I will get in my book. I will write the important things. Like, for instance, this says 3 to 4 questions regarding the following topics: influenza, epistaxis, anaphylaxis. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, anaphylaxis, I think. And so I will go in and I will try to find key points. And so when I do that, as I'm writing it, of course, I'm reading it, I'm writing it, and then I go back and I highlight it and I kind of like talk it through in my head. So that really helps me to get it in my head. And then another thing I have been doing is, which it's underneath my computer, hang on. If you saw my kitchen table right now. Today, I have been going through this med-surg success. There's different sections here. We've got the respiratory, cardiac, and hematology. And I basically go through these questions, and for the most part, I will like answer them, and then I'll check my answers like each section. Because like, for instance, respiratory starts out with upper respiratory infection, and it has like 12 questions. So I answer those, and then I go to the section answers and rationales here. And I will, if I get it wrong, I read why I answered it the way I did and why it's wrong. If I get it right, I like, yay. And I noticed that last semester I had the I had the fundamental success book, and I found that those questions tended to be harder than what the test was. I don't know if it was just kind of different questions, but I would still do it. And I would always do so much better on the actual exam than I would trying to do those questions. I kind of hope it's the same for this med-surg because I've actually been doing fairly well on these questions. I don't know if I'm just getting used to the questions. I tell you this, that is one thing that I've noticed this semester so far, which granted, like I said, I really don't know how these tests are going to be yet because we do have a new instructor and I'm not quite sure. I mean, we have the same instructor, but then this other new instructor's been teaching like a different section. So anyway, I'm not exactly certain how difficult these questions are going to be. I'm really hoping and praying that this first test I do well on. That way it will, boost my self-esteem and, I won't start freaking out quite yet. But it is a lot of information. This first test is basically covering, I think, between 16 and 18 chapters. It's a lot. It's a lot of information. It's very overwhelming. And like I said, with this microbiology also is really stressing me. And I'm taking community-based nursing and which medical surgical nursing is the first 8 weeks, and then we'll do peds for 4 weeks and OB for 4 weeks. That's what this semester entails as far as nursing. But community-based nursing goes the whole entire semester, which it's kind of one of those, it's a 1-credit class. It's kind of a stupid class. I mean, I say stupid, but I mean, we're learning about community-based nursing, but we have to get in these groups and we have to go out in the community. We have to do this and that. And we have papers that we have to do. And then we have to do this whole big thing at the end with the presentation. But then it's overlapping with my med-surg class because I don't know, I have to do a paper, but I can use the same location that I go to interview for my med-surg class. It's very confusing for me. I have not been able to get my feet on the ground yet as far as knowing what's due when. Last semester, I had papers to do. I would do them early, like a week or two early. I'd know in advance, and I felt more relaxed. And this semester, it's okay, so next Monday, I know I have a paper due in 122, which is community-based nursing. Not quite sure what it's supposed to be on. I really look bad. So I'm going tomorrow to really try to figure it out. And 8:30 in the morning is when my test is. And supposedly there's 62 questions. And last semester we always had 50 questions and we would get 1 hour. Somebody asked last Wednesday if we were going to get some extra time because we have more questions, and they said no. And I'm usually one of the last people done. Because I cannot actually start taking the test until it's completely quiet in there. People will be talk, asking questions, and they've already given out the test, and I literally have to wait until it's completely quiet in there for me to concentrate. And the first few questions, I will read them, and it's not sinking in my brain, so I have to read it, and then usually I'll pass it, and then I'll come back to it until I get going, because for some reason my brain is just so anxious and overwhelmed at the very beginning before I can calm down. I'm going to try to not be quite as anxious about the test. I've been studying, and that's pretty much what I do. And I've cut my hours back at work to just working 112 every Friday, so which lately has been very stressful there too. So I am just taking it one day at a time. I'm enjoying every bit of it. I mean, we've started clinicals, and that's one thing I was going to tell everybody. My very first clinical day, we were at a smaller hospital, and another student and myself were able to go to same-day surgery, and I successfully started 3 IVs. And I also got to see 2 surgeries, one being a mastectomy, which was completely outrageous. I mean, I felt very sorry for the patient because obviously she lost her breast and has cancer. But as far as as a nursing student standpoint, talking about it from that aspect, it was so interesting and so amazing. And we actually, after they removed the breast, they put it in a bucket, and the other student and myself, we were actually able to palpate the tumor that was about yay big. It was amazing. We also got to see a knee scope, which was also very cool. You get to see like from beginning to end how entailed it is in the operating room, and they literally end up covering the patient completely up. It was, I learned a lot. And as far as clinical days go, that was like over the top. Number one, just can't say enough about it. It was so awesome to be able to start IVs on a real person as opposed to a fake arm. So anyway, super excited about that. Now this past clinical day, it was the first day I was on the floor, and I was just very nervous for some reason. I work at a hospital and I'm around patients all the time, but my clinical instructor made me very nervous. And I felt very incompetent, which I know I'm not, but that's the way I felt. And so anyway, I hope that this next week I can just, I don't know, get my bearings, because this was at a different place. The first clinical, we were at the hospital I work at, which it wasn't on the same floor, but it was right below where I work. And so the layout was about the same, and so I really didn't have a problem with, I was very relaxed. This is a new computer system, a new hospital, new people, new everything, and so new clinical instructor. She is very different than the one I had before, and she expects different things, and she's just very intimidating to me, and I'm really going to strive to get over that, because, you know, I know what, for the most part, I know what I'm doing. I mean, not all the time, but I'm learning, and I'm not afraid to learn, and, you know, I was actually going to be able to start an IV on my patient, but then I looked at the veins, I was like, oh dear, and then my instructor looked at it, and she's like, we're just going to defer to the nurse. Well, then the nurse tried twice, she had another nurse try twice, and then finally the nurse from down ER came up and got the IV started for this poor gentleman. So, anyway, okay, so I'm going to close this down here, because I have to study some more. I take little breaks. I mean, I'll study, and then I was just actually on YouTube watching some videos about pneumonia and some other things, just trying to get a different, outlook on it. And so anyway, I'm going to post this, and I don't do any editing, so if I, have stupid stuff in here, sorry, because I don't know how to edit. But post your comments and subscribe, and anyway, so hope everybody else is doing well out there. Just let me know if you have any questions, or you want me to talk about anything specific, and hope you have an awesome week, and a blessed Super Bowl Sunday. Bye!